American homeowners in their 50s and 60s are still buying invasive plants this fall that garden centers refuse to stop selling, not because you weren't careful, but because no garden center label ever admits what these plants do once they spread. These 16 native swaps stop that spread for good. Before plant number 1, drop your state right now, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Find yours and pay attention. And the one at number 12, the garden center industry buried it quietly for years. This changes everything. Plant number 1, serviceberry. A $40 tree that replaces the $200 removal and replant cycle homeowners face after a mature Bradford pear finally splits. Picture white blossoms opening 2 weeks before anything else in the yard. Then dark berries birds strip clean before you even notice they ripened. Zones 4 through 9, half-day sun, well-drained soil. Most growers never realize serviceberry ripens weeks before blueberries, feeding birds and foragers from the same branch. University extension offices list it among the earliest native fruit sources of the entire growing season. Established serviceberry carries zero replacement cost for decades, unlike a Bradford pear's 15-year average lifespan before splitting. The single mistake: planting it in deep shade, where fruit production drops to almost nothing. That mistake costs growers years of wasted yard space on a tree that never bears fruit at all. Half-day sun is all serviceberry ever needed to outperform the tree it replaces. Drop your state right now in the comments, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these 16 swaps performs best for you. And the next native does something serviceberry can't. It blooms fragrant white flowers for nearly 3 weeks straight. And somewhere in this video is the story of a grower in his 60s in Zone 7 who trusted a garden center employee's advice 15 years ago. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, American Fringidae. A $45 tree with structurally sound branching, built to outlast the Bradford pear that splits apart in nearly every serious storm. Picture fragrant white fringe-like blooms draping the entire canopy every spring, holding their shape for weeks, while nearby Bradford pears drop petals within days. Zones 3 through 9, moist, well-drained soil. Most growers never realize American Fringidae holds its fragrant bloom nearly 3 weeks, longer than almost any flowering tree sold at the same garden center. University extension offices confirm its structural soundness stands in direct contrast to Bradford pear's documented storm splitting failure rate. A $45 Fringidae carries no removal cost, while a mature Bradford pear removal alone often runs past $400. The single mistake: planting it in poor drainage, where root rot sets in within 2 seasons. That mistake costs growers the entire tree and every dollar spent establishing it. Well-drained soil is all it takes for Fringidae to outbloom the tree it replaces. Have you ever grown a native flowering tree, not in a pot, not in a greenhouse, but directly in your yard? Drop it below. And the next native holds bright red berries clear through winter, long after everything else in the yard has gone bare. Plant number 3, winterberry holly. An $18 shrub that holds bright red berries clear through winter, long after burning bush has dropped every leaf and gone flat brown. Picture bare branches loaded with fire-red clusters against snow, feeding songbirds through the coldest stretch of the year. Zones 3 through 9, full sun to part shade. Most growers never realize winterberry holly is dioecious, meaning female plants only berry when a male grows within 50 feet to pollinate them. University extension offices confirm this is the single most overlooked detail behind so-called failed winterberry plantings nationwide. A $25 female plant pays off every winter for decades, while burning bush demands yearly pruning just to stay contained. The single mistake: planting only one, assuming any holly will berry alone. That mistake leaves growers staring at bare branches every winter for the plant's entire lifespan. A male plant nearby is the only thing standing between bare branches and a berry-loaded winter yard. Did you believe a pretty garden center shrub could never be an invasive problem? Be completely honest in the comments. And the next native attracts hummingbirds that actually prefer it over the invasive vine it replaces. Plant number 4, coral honeysuckle. A $12 vine that hummingbirds prefer over the Japanese honeysuckle, currently smothering fences across American yards. Picture coral red tubular blooms opening in flushes all summer long, drawing hummingbirds back to the same trellis week after week. Most growers never realize hummingbirds, documented by university research, actually favor coral honeysuckle's tubular shape over the invasive Japanese version, sold one aisle over. That single detail alone justifies replacing every invasive vine on a fence line with this one native. A $12 coral honeysuckle reblooms repeatedly all summer. Unlike Japanese honeysuckle's brief and unmanageable flush, the single mistake, confusing it with invasive Japanese honeysuckle at checkout. That mistake means bringing home the exact spreading problem this native was meant to replace. Verifying the Latin name at checkout is all it takes to bring home the native instead of the invasive. What plant, spot, or situation in your yard has defeated every single thing you have tried? Drop it below. And the next native turns fire engine red every fall, while the invasive it replaces just turns brown and drops. Plant number 5, Virginia sweetspire. An $18 shrub that turns fire engine red every fall, while the Japanese barberry it replaces just fades brown and drops. Picture arching branches draped in drooping white bloom spikes each spring, then igniting into burgundy red the moment autumn arrives. Most growers never realize Virginia sweetspire tolerates standing wet soil that leaves Japanese barberry struggling and thin within a single season. University extension offices confirm this wet tolerance makes it the direct fix for the low, soggy yard corners. Nothing else survives. An $18 sweetspire needs no yearly replacement. While spreading barberry demands ongoing removal work homeowners rarely budget for. The single mistake, planting it in bone, dry soil, expecting drought tolerance it doesn't have. That mistake stunts the plant permanently and kills the fall color it's grown for. Consistent moisture is all it takes for sweetspire to outcolor the shrub it replaces every single fall. Drop your state right now in the comments, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these still remaining swaps performs best for you. And the next native is completely thornless. Unlike the invasive barberry, it replaces. Plant number 6, nimbark. A $15 shrub with completely thornless stems. Unlike the Japanese barberry, it replaces along nearly every American property line. Picture peeling. Multi-layered bark curling back in ribbons through winter, adding texture no invasive shrub on this list can match. Most growers never realize nimbark's peeling bark provides visual interest through the entire winter, something barberry's bare thorny stems never offer once leaves drop. University extension offices list this multi-season structure as a defining reason to favor native shrub selection. A $15 nimbark needs no thorn removal or containment pruning, while spreading barberry demands both every season. The single mistake, overcrowding it against other shrubs, cutting off airflow. That mistake invites powdery mildew that weakens the plant for years afterward. Good spacing is all it takes for nimbark to outlast the thorny shrub it replaces without a single scratch. Have you ever grown a thornless native shrub? Not in a pot, not in a greenhouse, but directly in your yard? Drop it below. And the next native out-attracts butterfly bush for pollinators while asking for nothing in return. And plant number 7, summer sweet. A $15 shrub that out-attracts butterfly bush for pollinators while asking for nothing in return. Unlike butterfly bush's constant self-seeding cleanup, picture fragrant white bottlebrush blooms drawing bees and butterflies in numbers butterfly bush never matches from a single plant. Most growers never realize summer sweet draws more pollinators per plant than butterfly bush. According to university extension pollinator studies, comparing native versus invasive nectar sources, that single fact alone makes it the clear replacement wherever butterfly bush currently grows. A $15 summer sweet needs no deadheading to prevent spread, while butterfly bush seeds into surrounding beds every season. The single mistake, planting it in dry sandy soil, expecting the same tolerance as butterfly bush. That mistake scorches the foliage and stunts bloom production for years. Moist soil is all it takes for summer sweet to outperform the invasive shrub it replaces on every pollinator count. And we have not even reached number 12 yet. That one's coming. Now the story I mentioned earlier, the one about the garden center advice that split a tree clean in half. Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a grower in his 60s. This is that story. 15 years ago, in Zone 7, a garden center employee sold him a Bradford pear as the perfect fast-growing tree, and the USDA plant 8AB SN pace database now lists it among the exact invasive species. Extension offices warn against every spring. The storm split that Bradford pear clean down the trunk, costing him over $400 in emergency removal he never budgeted for. He replaced it with serviceberry and American fringery, both still standing strong today, structurally sound in the exact spot that failed him. This next native is not in any catalog, not on any nursery shelf. It exists on this list because you stayed long enough to deserve it. Plant number 8, buttonbush, a $20 shrub that thrives in the wet, low spots where butterfly bush struggles and eventually fails outright. Picture unusual round white flower clusters shaped like tiny buttons, a native rarity most gardeners have never once seen in person. Zones 5 through 9, full sun to part shade, wet to moist soil. Most growers never realize buttonbush's round white flower balls are a native rarity almost no one plants. Despite thriving in yard spots every other shrub rejects outright. University extension offices confirm it as one of the few natives built specifically for standing wet soil. A $20 buttonbush needs no drainage correction, while butterfly bush eventually rots out in the same wet spot. The single mistake, planting it in dry upland soil, expecting drought tolerance it doesn't have. That mistake stunts growth permanently and blocks the unusual bloom entirely. Wet soil is all it takes for buttonbush to thrive exactly where the invasive it replaces gives up. Drop your state right now in the comments, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these remaining swaps performs best for you. And the next native produces the most photographed berry clusters of any shrub on this entire list. Plant number 9, American beautyberry. A $20 shrub that reaches full size in one season, replacing the privet hedge that demands constant shearing to stay controlled. Picture vivid purple berry clusters wrapping every stem each fall among the most photographed native shrubs in the entire country. Most growers never realize American beautyberry's purple clusters rank among the most photographed native shrub features in fall gardening circles nationwide. University extension offices confirm its rapid growth reaches mature hedge size in a single season, something privet takes years to match. A $20 beautyberry needs no yearly shearing, while privet demands constant cutting just to hold its shape. The single mistake, heavy pruning in fall, removing the wood that would have buried. That mistake erases the entire show homeowners planted it for in the first place. Late winter pruning is all it takes to keep the purple show privet could never give you. Did you believe a fast-growing hedge shrub could never turn into a spreading invasive problem? Be completely honest in the comments. And the next native releases a citrus scent the moment you brush against it. Something privet never could. And more. Plant number 10, fragrant sumac, a $16 shrub that spreads into a dense low hedge, replacing the privet that demands constant shearing just to hold its line. Picture crushed leaves releasing a bright citrus scent instantly, something no invasive on this list can offer at all. Zones 3 through 9. Most growers never realize crushed fragrant sumac leaves release a bright citrus scent, the exact detail that separates it from its toxic sumac relatives at a glance. University extension offices confirm this scent test as a reliable identification method before any planting decision. A $16 fragrant sumac forms a dense hedge with zero yearly shearing. Unlike privet's constant maintenance demand, the single mistake, confusing it with poison sumac before verifying identification. That mistake risks bringing home a genuinely toxic plant instead of its safe native lookalike. The citrus scent test is all it takes to confirm the safe native instead of its toxic lookalike. Have you ever grown a native hedge shrub? Not in a pot, not in a greenhouse, but directly along your own property line? Drop it below right now, and the next native clings safely to brick and stone without damaging either one. Plant number 11. Climbing hydrangea. An $18 vine that clings safely to brick and stone without damaging either. Something no invasive vine on this list can do. Picture white lace cap blooms spreading slowly across a wall over several seasons, permanent once it finally takes hold. Zones 6 through 9. Most growers never realize climbing hydrangea is one of very few native vines that self-clings without ever damaging brick, stone, or mortar underneath. University extension offices confirm this structural safety stands in direct contrast to Japanese honeysuckle's documented damage to masonry over time. An $18 climbing hydrangea becomes a permanent structure once rooted, needing no yearly retraining or removal. The single mistake, expecting fast growth in year 1, then giving up too soon. That mistake means pulling out a vine that needed 2 more years to finally take hold. Patience through 2 full seasons is all it takes for this vine to reward you permanently, without a single cracked brick. Drop your state right now in the comments, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these remaining swaps performs best for you. And the next native rivals, burning bush for fall color exactly, without the invasive spread. Plant number 12. Red chokeberry. This is the one teased at the very start. A $20 shrub rivaling burning bush for fall color exactly, without a single spreading seedling afterward. Picture berries considered one of the most antioxidant-rich native fruits in the entire country, ripening deep red against fire-colored leaves. Most growers never realize red chokeberry berries are documented as an antioxidant. Rich native superfruit, a distinction burning bush offers absolutely nothing to match. University extension offices confirm this exact fall color rivalry, matching burning bush shade for shade without any invasive spread afterward. A $20 chokeberry needs no removal cost ever, while burning bush spreads into surrounding woodland edges for free. The single mistake, planting it in deep shade, where fall color fades to dull green. That mistake erases the entire reason growers choose this native in the first place. Full sun is all it takes for chokeberry to match burning bush color for color, minus the spreading problem. Did you believe a fiery fall shrub could never turn into an invasive headache down the road? Be completely honest in the comments. And the next native covers structures fast without damaging masonry, the way English ivy does. Plant number 13, Virginia creeper. A $10 vine that covers structures just as fast as English ivy, without ever damaging the masonry underneath it. Picture 5-leaflet foliage often mistaken for poison ivy, yet completely different and entirely non-toxic to the touch. Most growers never realize Virginia creeper's 5-leaflet leaf is often mistaken for poison ivy. Yet university extension sources confirm it is completely different and safe to touch. That single identification fact alone should end decades of unnecessary fear around this native vine. A $10 creeper covers structures as fast as English ivy, without English ivy's documented damage to masonry over time. The single mistake, allowing it onto wood siding, where trapped moisture invites rot. That mistake damages the very structure the vine was meant to enhance. Stone or trellis, not wood siding, is all it takes to let this vine cover fast without any damage. What plant, spot, or situation in your yard has defeated every single thing you have tried? Drop it below. And the next native hides an unusual flower most gardeners have walked past their entire lives without ever seeing it. Plant number 14, wild ginger. An $8 ground cover that spreads slowly and stays controlled exactly where English ivy used to choke everything out completely. Picture heart-shaped leaves hiding an unusual maroon flower at ground level. One most gardeners never notice is even there. Zones 4 through 8. Full shade to part shade. Most growers never realize wild ginger hides a strange maroon flower right at ground level. Invisible unless someone actually lifts the heart-shaped leaves to look. University extension offices confirm this ground cover spreads slowly and stays contained. Unlike English ivy's documented aggressive takeover of forest floors, an $8 wild ginger needs no yearly cutback or removal, while English ivy demands ongoing pulling just to protect nearby trees. The single mistake, placing it in full sun, where leaves scorch and the plant declines. That mistake wastes the ground cover entirely in a spot it was never suited for. Full shade is all it takes for wild ginger to spread exactly where you want it, and nowhere else at all. Have you ever grown a native ground cover? Not in a pot, not in a greenhouse, but directly under your own trees? Drop it below. And the next native is the exclusive host plant monarch butterflies actually depend on to survive. Plant number 15, swamp milkweed. A $10 perennial that serves as the exclusive host plant monarch butterflies depend on completely for survival. Picture clustered pink blooms rising from the exact wet soil niche purple loosestrife used to dominate before it spread out of control. Zones 3 through 9, full sun, wet to moist soil. Most growers never realize swamp milkweed is the exclusive host plant monarch caterpillars depend on. A role no invasive plant on this list can ever fill. University extension offices confirm monarch populations decline directly alongside milkweed habitat loss nationwide. A $10 swamp milkweed seeds moderately without ever turning invasive, unlike purple loosestrife's documented wetland takeover. The single mistake, planting it in dry soil, expecting the same tolerance as upland milkweed species. That mistake stunts the plant and removes the exact habitat monarchs we're counting on. Wet soil is all it takes for swamp milkweed to give monarchs exactly what purple loosestrife never could. Drop your state right now in the comments, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these final swaps performs best for you. And the last native on this list blooms in the exact wetland edges loosestrife used to dominate. Plant number 16, blue vervain. This is the final swap on the list. An $8 perennial blooming in the exact wet soil edges. Purple loosestrife used to dominate before it took over completely. Picture tall purple-blue flower spikes drawing pollinators in the same wetland niche the invasive once ruined. Zones 3 through 8. Full sun to part shade. Most growers never realize blue vervain fills the same wet soil pollinator niche purple loosestrife once dominated across American wetland edges. University extension offices confirm this native as a direct habitat replacement, following documented loosestrife removal efforts nationwide. An $8 blue vervain seeds moderately in that same niche without ever becoming invasive itself. The single mistake, removing it as a common weed before verifying identification against invasive look-alikes. That mistake pulls out the exact native this whole list was built to protect. Verifying identification before pulling is all it takes to protect the exact native this whole list was built around and designed to defend. That completes all 16 native swaps. But 3 things about invasive plants that almost no source ever puts in one single place are still coming right now. Stay right here for that. 3 things about invasive plants that almost no source puts in one place. Secret. 1. Garden center tags rarely say invasive, but words like vigorous grower and fast spreading are the coded warning nobody explains. Secret 2. Cutting an invasive shrub down without removing the full root system triggers aggressive resprouting. Secret 3. Several of these native swaps are true drop-in replacements, needing zero layout redesign because they already match the exact mature size of what they're replacing in your yard today. Across all 16 swaps combined, that totals somewhere between $100 and $300 saved every single year in pruning, spraying, and removal costs that ongoing invasive spread demands from homeowners. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your zone, right now. Here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants. To dollar. Zones 2 through 6 growers get 6 proven cold-hardy swaps. Ninbark, winterberry holly, red chokeberry, Virginia sweetspire, wild ginger, and blue vervain, totaling under $130 combined for all 6 plants together, replacing invasive spread that otherwise costs homeowners hundreds every single year. Zones 6 through 10 growers get 4 proven warm zone swaps: American beautyberry, fragrant sumac, climbing hydrangea, and swamp milkweed. Planted now while fall establishment windows are still fully open for root growth. Miss this narrow window and your first real result waits a full extra year because roots need real time to settle before winter dormancy closes that door completely. You just discovered 16 zone accurate dollar grounded native plants quietly replace the exact invasive shrubs still sold at garden centers across the country every single spring. If this saved your yard from a future $400 removal headache, hit like right now, so other serious growers find it too. Comment which invasive plant you didn't know you had growing in your own yard this whole time. Then subscribe to Natural Verge, because serious growers stop planting problems and start planting solutions. Subscribe to Natural Verge, 50 years of plant knowledge delivered every single week for the grower who actually wants to know.